Okay, so good morning, everybody. Today I'm joined by Dylan, Rohan, and Connor, and today we're going to talk about a little bit about fitness, which I think would be a good topic to talk on, leading on after our meditation talk a few days ago. So I thought a fun way to get us all started was maybe talk about our earliest memory of exercise. So to get the ball rolling, I'll start. So my earliest memory would have been at school doing athletics towards during around the summertime. So let's say April or May when the weather's good and the sun's out. So every 2 or 3 days, we'd at lunchtime or just after lunch, we'd go out on the grass and we'd literally either run around the field doing laps or we'd do a sprint. So maybe like 50, 60 meters. And whoever would come in like the top 4 or 5 would then enter another race and then there's basically a winner of that. For some reason, I never actually ever won.
I think everyone kind of had that when they were kids.
Uh,
No one,
I kind of got through. I kind of got through the qualification phase, but when it came to the main one, then I was just like, nah,
yeah,
I'm done.
yeah.
Who would like to go next? Right, I'll choose. So we'll go Connor.
Yeah, probably my earliest memory is playing football, I'd say. I started playing football when I was about, I'd say maybe 5 years of age with Crooks.
Yeah.
And we used to go play every Saturday morning. We used to play in school as well. Our trainer that actually used to train us on Saturday morning used to come in and train us in school as well. So I knew all the drills and everything, so I thought.
Yeah. Do you ever think about turning into a coach yourself, Connor?
I used to, before I used to be absolutely obsessed with it. Like all I used to think about was football, and I gave it up only about a year or two ago because of college. It's very, very, very hard when you're in college as well because it's a lot of commitment and stuff, and they expect a lot to come down for trainings and stuff, and it's just very hard to balance it all, especially working then at the weekends and stuff as well.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
what position did you play actually? Out of
I
interest.
played centre back for most
Centre
of
back.
it, or I kind of float into midfield and stuff sometimes as well.
Yeah,
Defensive
yeah.
king.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Rohan, let's talk a bit about you.
Yeah, so actually, I have my memories in school, like doing a lot of the drills, and we had a open ground, and we had like every day we had certain exercise drills to be done. So I was never a fan of doing exercise, but that really helped me actually to include it in my life, and doing at least in a it in a regular way. And
Mm.
also I remember like running in the open ground when we had a particular exercise class during
Oh,
our school, so it was in our timetable. So before playing any games, we were told to do 5 big rounds of the ground, and it was really very difficult. And that time I really understood, like, what committing is all about. So when I started doing it, and over a period of time, my exercise coach said that you are that you are not a regular person who does an exercise, but still you're at least trying to do, and there is a good start. So from there I learned that some that everything has a start. You have to just
Get in there.
do
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
and then it becomes a part of your life.
so that
100%.
must have been a bit of a confidence boost for you, was it?
Exactly, it was a very confident booster, because as a child I was always thinking, like, that I'll not be able to do too much of what to say, rigorous exercises and everything. But then when I started, at least I could commit to runs, jogs, and because of that, it really boosted my confidence.
Yeah, fair play. Okay, on to Dylan.
Yeah, funnily enough, like when I first think back, I don't think of myself, I think of my brother. Because he was actually he's about 7 years older than me, like, so he had a
Yeah.
huge kind of like, I don't know, I was kind of like looking up to him because he was huge into his athletics and his sport, like, but I was a very,
Mm.
very shy child. So
Really?
I
Jeez, you wouldn't think that now.
no, no, you wouldn't, would you? Like, it's mad. Like, years now, years. I actually struggled. Like, I really struggled with like shyness and stuff. But I would not do the sports day ever. Like for
Just with
years.
the confidence thing.
Yeah, I just wouldn't do it. I hated it.
That
I
used to be
was
my
like, no.
favorite part of the year.
But I was worried people would be looking at me like, you know, I'd be like, oh, you know, people would be looking
No,
at me.
I can really connect with Dylan because I was similarly that. It took me really time to get into the sports day activities and everything, because even I used to absolutely hate it when the exercise time used to come, because I was a singer, so always when told to sing in competitions I was ready, but when to do exercise it was like, oh, again I need to do it. But then slowly I also had to deal with the shyness part.
Yeah, yeah.
Really. It's interesting how we as people would be kind of skeptical of doing exercise, but the actual feeling you get after doing it though is something
Oh,
else. There's like a buzz off it.
it's
Yeah.
But something I wanted to ask you, Dylan, was the train, because you used to be in the army and the military. Is that right?
that's right, yeah.
I'm really interested to hear about the kind of training you kind of did for that. How did that?
Yeah.
How was there like levels to it? As in, so as you progressed down the months and years, did the training become more intense, or was it at a star level from the start? Like,
Well, no, funnily enough, like there's a mandatory fitness test for every year you have to get done to be an effective soldier. So to be put down as effective staff. But even to get into the army as well, there's a common level fitness test, and oh my god, like it's easy. It's easy for someone who doesn't even like kind of actively stay fit. You know, I think it's
really?
so easy. Like you have to do
So
20.
what would that have consisted of?
So there's 3 stages. Obviously, there's like the medical to make sure that you're okay and all that, right? And then you do the second stage, just like you do sit-ups and push-ups. So you have to do 20 sit-ups and push-ups in a minute. So 20 sit-ups in a minute and 20 push-ups in a minute. And they have to be good form as well. Like, so that's fine. That's actually grand. And then you have to do 2 miles or 3.2k in, I think it's like 13 minutes 10 seconds, I think, which is very doable. Like, I mean, 2 weeks training and you're flying it. Like, you know, you'll fly through that. Like, you know, but that's the easy part, actually, you know, doing the medical. You know, most people are scared of doing the initial test, and you're like, oh my god, that sounds so hard. But once you kind of start training, it's dead easy. Like, it's the training after that. It's the kind of training for the exercises and stuff. So the exercises, you know, would be much more intense. Like, it's all endurance. Like, it's heavy weight on your back for miles and miles and miles. You know, you're trekking miles and miles and miles. It's almost a mental kind of endurance as well as like a physical one. You need to be able to push yourself, like.
So for training for that, would that consist of doing stuff like that every day in order to be that kind of fit, man?
But more often than not, it's kind of kept on yourself, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not effective enough, you know, it's up to you to kind of train, you know, in your spare time and stuff. But it's nothing unattainable, you know. It's just keeping generally fit, like. And as I said, like most of it is kind of like having that kind of mental endurance to kind of push yourself, because it's not that it's hard, but it is. If you, how do I explain it? Like, it's.
So was there any part that you enjoyed the most out of all the kind of training you kind of did? Was there anything you liked to do? It was challenging, but you just got an enjoyment out of it. Any one thing in particular?
Oh, I think it was just the kind of rough stuff, you know, the stuff where you really do have to push yourself. You know, you wouldn't necessarily do it, say, like a gym or something. You know, you wouldn't be crawling through rivers and pushing through bushes and stuff. You know, and like that takes serious effort when you have a 40 kg pack on your back, like, you know, and you're pulling equipment around. You don't know what you're going to be doing from day to day, and that's kind of, you don't know what to be prepared for, so you have to be prepared for everything. Which is just good fun, like, you know.
Because funny you said about the gym. I mean, when most people think about fitness, they automatically think of a gym. I mean, I work in a gym and I like to train in the gym, but I wouldn't call myself naturally fit compared to other kind of backgrounds. So, for example, people and clients might come into me and say, oh, I'd like to do a bit of gym training to help me in this area of exercise. So we'll take cycling, for example. So I put them on the bike to see what they're like, and I won't lie, the level of fitness that people have, it actually astonishes me. because, like I said, some people think that it's just gym, it's the only area of fitness, or lifting weights and gaining muscles and stuff like that. But like there's so many different backgrounds. Like for example, combat sport as well. I mean, the fitness you need for that kind of stuff. So I'd be a big kind of boxing fan, and during my undergrad years, I would train twice a week in boxing. And the first few weeks, I was leaving the place puking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that though, that boxing is meant to be ridiculous altogether. The
Yeah,
training that's involved in that.
it's very, very tough. But my God, if you can be fit in boxing, you can be fit in most sports, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I had a question for you, Peter.
Yes, ask
Is
away.
that in this in this world of people going to gym a lot of times, I've heard that there is a big obsession of making abs. So what do you think that is this leading to fear that if you're not having abs you're not fit? What do you think when you see people in your gym? Where are they coming from and what they're really looking for?
So in terms of abs, it can be kind of trends, Rohan. So for example, one for a year or for a few months, people might be looking for abs, or for example, they could be looking for big chest, or they could be looking for uh, a big bum. So in terms of the trend at the moment, I wouldn't say it's abs. For the men, it might be a little bit abs, but for men, it'd be mainly chest exercises and upper body, and for women, it would kind of be the leg work. But in terms of what I would say for people that are looking to gain strength is just to never focus on one area, because if you focus on one area, you're neglecting all the other parts.
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's mad how trends work, isn't it? Like, as in, it's obviously dictated by like things like popular culture and stuff. But it's mad how
Uh-huh.
like the whole Kim K thing, once she became famous and became a huge phenomenon, like it's all about like the kind of big booty now, like but back in say the
The
two
beauty
thousands,
gossip.
like that was like no way. You have to be like flat as a pancake, and it's weird how like body trends and like it's like people have to force themselves to do such crazy things to kind of keep up with these trends. Like,
and
so,
and what and what's it for at the end of the day? To take a nice selfie.
no, yeah,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
But
it's great looking after yourself and everything, but some people really go a bit too far.
yeah,
I know.
exactly. And the thing is that not even every month, like sometimes every 2 weeks there are certain new health trends that come, like that you need to have a particular shape of the body, you need to have a particular type of body, and it really causes stress to some people because they really want to be like that, and they strive to be like that, and they put them into a big stress actually. And rather than actually the gym activity making them stress free, it makes them strive for something probably that's going to change in a very short time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Exactly. So a big reason why I love exercising is because not what because it does for the body, it's for what it does for the mind.
for the head,
And
of
I
course.
think that can be a very sensitive topic. And as well, it kind of goes back to the meditation, how we were talking last week as well, boys. Um, but in terms of the mental health, you just feel so good after it.
Yeah.
You should be People should train because they want it for themselves. They shouldn't train to be appreciated by other people. And I think that's all because of the social platforms like Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's
But
kind of like people train and then they all of a sudden they train for weeks and weeks and weeks and they're kind of working towards this certain like trend goal, where it's like
mhm,
I need to have whatever like by the
yeah,
time this day comes around, and then they don't have it, and then that just turns their mental health completely down because it's like you didn't achieve what you were supposed to. You don't look as good as that person on Instagram or whatever. But that's not
mhm,
what you should be. That's not why you should be focusing on fitness. Like,
exactly. I mean, it's a
yeah,
lifestyle. But there would be you could look at it the opposite ways then, and then you could say they've reached their goal. Now they have no more goals, so they end up relapsing and going back to the start again.
yeah, it's cyclical. Like it's a bad old cycle to get into.
It is. But so another thing I wanted to talk about was obviously we're in a moment of crisis at the moment. Um, and during this pandemic, people have a lot of free time. So I think exercise, and as we're talking about being good for the mental health, is obviously an excellent thing to do. So what I've been doing the last week or 2 weeks now is I actually took up a new sport, cycling. Any of you tried that before?
Yeah, I used to
Yeah.
cycle a bit before when I was younger. I did the ring of carry and stuff.
Did you have the stabilizers on as well?
All the way around.
I haven't had a bike in years, man. Jesus.
I'll tell you what, there's because I'm using my sister's bike at the moment, and it's a proper racing bike.
I was
So
gonna
the
say that
wheels
pink
are-
one with like a basket on it, no?
Yeah, damn, I didn't think you'd see this. But the wheels are really thin. It's light, and
The racing
Took
ones
me
are
ages-
deadly, yeah.
I tell you, I won't lie, I was a bit of a tread on the road for the first few days. But it's very challenging though. Very challenging.
Yeah, it can be. Very.
I done about 10 or 11K yesterday, and I was breathing heavy after that. I won't lie, it was tough.
Mm.
Yeah, you would be. Yeah, it is tough, and especially like if you're cycling against the wind there or anything.
Yeah.
Jeez, that makes
But,
all the difference.
So a question for you was, is there anything that you've taken up or anything you'd like to maybe try and do over the next few weeks while we're in isolation? Would anyone like to lead us off?
Yeah. I've been doing more exercise, I'd say, more than ever now since all this has come about. There's nothing else to do, and it just feels good to get out and do something. So I'd run 5K every day, and sometimes even do twice a day.
What, you do 5K twice a day?
Sometimes in the morning, yeah, and in the evening then as well.
Fair play.
Yeah, well, it's the same. It's the same run the whole time. It's just like a big block around around my village,
Oh yeah.
It's the same. But no, it just feels good to get out and stuff.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, it does, of course.
Because you'd be bored as anything here. Like I know we've college work and stuff to do, but there's only so much of
Oh yeah.
that.
I know. And I think, people are finding it really hard to motivate themselves now. Just I think because it just seems like there's a lot of uncertainty around the place.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that's a big reason. Rohan, anything you've taken up lately?
Yeah. So, as a singer, so like I have challenged myself into getting, practicing difficult songs of my country, and difficult classical music that is very difficult to sing. So I listen to them and I try to practice, as in singing. Practice is really important. So I do that, and as I said, and I'm also trying to do meditation also. That is, I'm trying to calm myself by practicing various breathing techniques, and which I was doing before, but I'm doing it a little bit more and taking it to the next level by trying to do it for a long time.
So, geez, I'd love to hear a song off your own. Obviously, I'm sure you don't want to do it today, but have you, as the practicing being done every day?
Yeah, I do practice every day.
And do you feel the progress? Do you feel you're getting making progress every day?
Yeah, I do feel that every practice makes me understand some new about whatever I'm singing. It makes me really feel good about myself, and at the same time I learn something new. And in India, in Indian classical music, we have to do the practice every day for making our voice work, and for getting the right pitch. So it really helps when we practice every day. If you don't practice every day, it's like you start losing the track of your voice.
Yes, I get you. And Dylan, anything you've taken up lately? I've seen you've been going on some nice walks around the place.
Yeah, I've kind of tried to push myself to do a lot more hiking, because obviously I live in the middle of absolutely nowhere. So I mean, I have that luxury. Like, you kind of look at it day to day and you're like, oh, there's sucks living in the middle of nowhere, but you know what? It's actually lovely. It's so nice
I
just
think
getting out
it's
into nature.
peaceful. Listen to the birds chirping and stuff like that.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, like that's it. I've gone out now with no like music or anything in my ears, like so. It's literally just. It's so nice. Just going for like mostly like tough enough hikes, you know. Um,
Yeah.
I hiked from my house to Lochgar the other day, which is like it's a big like I suppose I don't know. It's a very hilly region, like you know that area. So, just
And what
as the
kind of
crow
distance
flies.
would that be?
It was about it was about 6K, but I did it as the crow flies, so it took much longer because I wasn't on the roads or anything. It was all cross country. Fun though, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So we're coming to the end of this podcast. What I would say is we should all end on a nice positive note, right? So I'll start us up. We'll say for all you viewers at home listening, I'd say main thing is keep healthy, keep sane, and whatever time you have by yourself, try and make it productive. So as Rohan said, whether it's a bit of meditation or singing or whether it's going for a hilly walk or cycling, definitely try and keep it up just to keep the body healthy, breathing well, and the mind healthy. All right. Till next time. Good job.